So let's talk about the rules. And I've said this before. Rules only apply to guys that women are not into. Or maybe she just not attracted to the dude no more. Maybe she just don't like the dude no more. Let me tell you something, man. There's a lot of people within the mainstream media. They talk this talk about, hey, you gotta follow the rules. And everybody jumps in. Everyone goes along with it. Women jump up on it. And they go along with it because they benefit from it. You have to understand that. And a lot of guys, they drink the Kool-Aid too because they butt kisses, right? But if you got your shit together, if you're a real mover and shake out here, if you're a boss out here, or if you on the way up, you ain't gotta be a boss. You can be on the way up. You can be about your business. You might have a plan. You know where you going. That type of dude, a woman ain't gonna approach him with no damn rules. And that's just how it is. Women only approach guys with these conditions because she wants to control him and pull him around, and she always wants to know what's going to happen next. She doesn't want to be in the dark. You know why? Because she's not really into him like that. He's just probably a short-term deal or until she thinks she can do better. Now, if she runs into one of those alpha dudes, the movers and shakers out here, the best of the best, the cream of the crop type dudes, she's not going to approach him with no type of rules. It's going to be all about him. And it has to be all about him because it was about him before she even met the dude. And she knows that she can easily be replaced by him because he knows he has options. She knows this. Now, the beta dude, she knows that he's a weakling. She knows that he don't have a lot of options. You know why she knows this? Because he's always running behind her all the time. He's always worrying about what she's doing all the time. He's always worrying about what she's up to all the time. A dude that is about his business ain't got time to be running behind a woman trying to figure out what she's doing and who she's hanging out with. We don't got time for all that. And that's how it is. So at the end of the day, like I've always said, for the past, 4 years now, either she's in or she's out. There's no time to discuss where we stand and how we feel all the time about each other. And man, look, people that have things.
Alright. Just got the call, it's going down tonight. It's a lot of goodbyes here tonight. But then I saw the sky and that I like. Hair from Cali, I live in the valley. Then you look sexy.
Yo! It's official. Like a referee with a whistle. Alabama in the house. What's going down, man? Like, share the video, and all that good stuff. The weekend is upon us. You know what time it is. You know, it's Memorial Weekend. You know, it's time to it's time to take off, baby. We out here. You know, it's one of them weekends, Memorial Weekend. That's how it usually goes down. But hey, that's why I'm doing this today and not tomorrow, you know. But yeah, you know, new day, new time. The weather is it's getting warmer. Depending on where you live at, it might be warm. But at night times, it'd be chilly out here where I'm at. So, hey, it is what it is. All you can do is adapt. Don't complain. And if you complain, nobody really cares anyway. Better you than them. That's how they look at it. They're not going to tell you that, but that's how they see it. You know, no one cares how you feel. Yeah. But hey, don't forget to check out the Love Can't Wait podcast too. I got a new episode over there and all that good stuff. But hey, with all that being said, let's talk about what I want to talk about today. I want to talk about the new rules when it comes to dating. And the reason why I think this is important because I see and hear a lot of fuckery that's going on out here. The game is raggedy out here now. Oh, man. Guys, y'all be going through it. The women, they be going through it too. Oh, man, the game is raggedy out here on both sides. Oh, man. Woo. Man, I thought it was bad when I was in the 20s. No, man, one like this. Woo, whoo. Some of this shit, and you gotta have some standards about yourself. Whether you're a man or a woman, it don't even matter. You know what I'm saying? Woo, you gotta be conscious of the company that you keep. For real. And see, when I have my own rules. I have my own standards. And I try not to break them. If I do break them, trust and believe, it's going to be a method to the madness, and it's going to be dependent upon who I'm dealing with when it comes to my rules and standards. Because I usually don't meet too many people that make me want to bend. I might bend, but I don't break. You know what I'm saying? So I have my own thing. See, I don't pay attention to what's going on out here too much. I'll hear about it, see it. Like, so what? That ain't going to change on what I'm doing. That ain't going to stop me from doing what I'm doing. So I don't really put a lot of thought into it. Now, is a lot of women out of pocket? Yeah. A lot of these women are hoes and foreigners. So I don't really, the women I talk to or hang around, they're not like that. They're not really out of pocket. They don't do none of that wow cowboy shit that I be seeing online and that I see out in the street every once in a while. So I don't really think anything. I expect hoes to say some whole shit. Especially if they're in some pimp hoe type relationship. If she's a trick, if she's tricking off with guys, I expect a woman like that to say some whole shit. She's in the street game. So it is what it is when it comes to that. You can't take a bona fide hoe that's used to dealing with tricks, take her serious in the square world. No, that shit don't mix, man. You can't. That's like you got two women. One of them went to college, got a job, in some office. And then you got another woman. She might have went to college, but or maybe she didn't go to college. But she's a goddamn prostitute or escort. That's two different type of women. I don't even look at them the same. I expect the escort to say something like, when I deal with a man, I want the man to take care of me. Period. This is this business. It ain't about how I feel. I expect an escort or a bona fide hoe to say something like that. That's a given. But I don't take what she say and with a paintbrush and paint it across all the women. No, man. That's a different type of one. That's a different type of female. Nah. And that's what I see online a lot. You got these hoes that'll, I know she's in the street game, but guys will listen to her, and she's a foreigner 9 times out of 10 from someplace like Kenya or whatever, or Sudan or Nigeria or something like that. A lot of these women trick off on the white guys all the time. I know that, but I don't take her serious. She's playing a different game than I am, and I'm playing. I ain't in the street game. So I don't deal with women like her. So if I hear a woman that say something like, hey, I'm looking for a man to take care of me, period, point blank, period. Well, that bitch ain't for me. I ain't that type of dude. I'm not a trick. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. So that shit don't bother me at all. I don't compare her to the women back at home. I don't compare her to my aunts, my cousins, my mom. Rest in peace to my mom. They wasn't even that type of women. No, it's just like a different game, different world. You know, the problem with a lot of these guys today, they listen to women too much. And a lot of these guys are nerds. The problem with a lot of nerds is they see things black and white. See with this or that. Either she's a fit woman for marriage or she belongs to the streets. But I'm like, wait a minute, hold up. What about the women in the middle? There's always a gray area, you know. She might not be a woman that's fit for marriage, but she might be good for something else. There's always a gray area. But see, black and white thinking, see, these guys go to college and they see either this or that. You can't do that with every goddamn thing. Come on, man. But they go to college and they're the smartest motherfucker in the class and all this bullshit. That's in the classroom. What about outside the classroom? That is a different world. You know? And if you're going to listen to some women, let it be a woman that's respectable in your town, your city, your neighborhood, or something like that. You listen to a bitch on the internet that you don't even know her from a can of paint. Make that make sense to me. Damn. That don't make no sense. You listen to a bitch You don't even know nothing about her. All you know is she was engaged to some white man. Well, who cares? Obviously, she got dumped. Nobody want her. She done ran through a bunch of guys. I'm not gonna call no names. You probably know who I'm talking about. Like, who cares? She went on the Breakfast Club. Who gives a fuck? You know? I don't understand this. Why do we keep listening to women all the time? Nobody else does this shit. And these other groups of guys, they don't really be listening to women like that. I don't let them bitches talk. Let them bitches, who cares? They can't stop me and can't whip my ass. So what I'm listening to them for? You know, and see, when you listen to a woman, and this has happened to some guys I've known, some of these women will get you killed if you listen to what they say. And this has happened over the years. I know guys that listen to women and they're not here no more. You know, so just keep in mind who you listen to, you know. And another thing about a lot of these women, I see. I don't buy into a lot of this bullshit that people talk about. There's no such thing as a whole phase. There's no such thing, man. Where is this? Where does a lot of this shit comes from? I don't know where it comes. A lot of this stuff people come up with. There's no such thing as a whole phase. There's an assumption that the majority of women, well, when they're young in the early 20s or mid 20s, or probably through all the 20s, that somehow they come into their womanhood and their hormones start to go crazy, and they'll meet the first guy and they'll kind of get turned out, and they'll go boy crazy, and then they want to have sex with a bunch of guys. Just a bunch of bullshit. I'm not saying it don't happen that way, but that doesn't happen to a majority of women like that. It doesn't work like that. Every woman doesn't get down like that. There's some women, that's just how they are. Period. Now, there's some women they might sleep with a bunch of guys for a couple of months and stop and never do it again. Because they'll meet one guy, settle with that guy, and that's it. And then some women might go celibate. I know women that have went celibate. But that ain't, they say the phase could last for years. That's like, there's no such thing. I think a lot of guys are just trying to give women, they're trying to justify why they should give women a pass for sleeping with a bunch of guys, for sleeping with too many guys. It happens a lot in big cities where a lot of women meet a bunch of guys and they just run through guys. But that's not a phase. That's just, some people are just like that. You know, just like I said. And then you have some women that will do something wild and crazy every once in a while, and they might never do it again. Or if they do it, or if they do it again, it'll be like 5, 10 years later, some shit like that. Or they might never do it again. But that ain't no phase. That's just something that they just wanted to do it for whatever reason. And I'm not saying you have to like it, but that ain't no damn phase. That ain't no whole phase. That's just something somebody made up to try to justify why some women run through guys. I mean, just call it what it is. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, it's a lot of bullshit that's floating around out here. And there's another thing that's silly, where a lot of guys, and even women as well, they'll have a bachelor party or a bachelorette party. That's the stupidest shit I've ever seen or heard of. Now, if you're about to get married, why the fuck would you have a party, a bachelor party? I never understood the concept of that shit. It's kind of like, hey, this is my last, and by the way, I went to a bachelor party, and I still didn't understand why are we even here? Celebrate. What is there to celebrate? You know, you just got a bunch of strippers coming over dancing. There's a lot of liquor and whatever else you want. Shit. You want to get high? Oh, they got it too. Whatever you want to do, right? But the idea is to, hey, this is my last day to have fun before I get married with all the fellas. What? That doesn't make any sense. I never understood the concept of that bullshit. And women start doing this. Women start having parties like that too. Bachelorette parties. It don't make no sense. Women have a stripper, a male. Well, they have a male and female stripper at their parties. You know, so the concept is, hey, this is my last time I can have fun before I throw in the towel and settle down. Settle down? I'm not ever settling down. I'm not ever going to settle down based on, I've been told, because I had to ask him, like, what does settling down actually mean? It's a settling down actually means that somehow you're going to get brand new and kind of become a new person. And you're going to stop doing all the things you used to do. What? Why would I stop doing all the stuff I used to do? I wasn't doing anything bad or negative. The majority of it was a good thing. It helps me become a better man, a better husband, a better person. So why would I stop doing something that helps me, empowers me? I mean, weird shit that people come up with, you know. You know, it's like, come on, man. A woman's party are worse than a man's party. Yeah, man. Let me tell you something. When I went to on a bachelor party I went to, man, them dudes doing everything. You got dudes in them bachelor parties, man, be doing shit that you never thought they would be doing. On the first night with a stripper. Them dudes went down on the stripper All of them. Damn near all of them. You be like, yo, you know, we just met her 40 minutes ago. And you went dive head first. Ah! You don't know her from a can of paint? I don't know her from a can of paint. And you dive head first. No. I'm telling you, man, the dude's a wild boy. I heard women parties are worse. Of course, I've never been, so I can't really speak on the bachelorette parties. You know, but and you know, a lot of people like talking about the data. The data this, the data that. Look, we already know the data. We already know what the data says. The data says, in a nutshell, that I'm supposed to fail. I'm not supposed to try. I'm just supposed to give up. There's no hope. It's doom and gloom. It's over. We're all gonna die. Well, we're all gonna die, but it might not be today. You know what I'm saying? But the data says you should throw in the white towel, give up. Who raised you? What kind of loser thinking stock you come from? You got a lot of these nerds online that just because the data says this, just because the odds are against me or you succeeding, that we're not supposed to try. That's bullshit, man. That's bullshit. You know, don't buy into that. And do you if you got grandparents that's still living, ask your grandparents about the data and see how crazy they look at you. Your grandfather might tell you, shit, the data been the way it's been since I was a baby. Shit. Yeah, we don't gotta know that. We already know the data is against us. We don't even gotta read it because we know it's gonna be some negative bullshit. And the odds are against us doing anything because of the shit we have to go up against and fight against. We understand all that shit. See, grandpa and grandma wasn't sitting around talking about no data. They just went out there and found a way to get the shit done, regardless of what it was, regardless of the obstacles, regardless of what was in the way. And if they died trying, so be it. You know what I'm saying? So be it. Sometimes death is better. So be it. You know what I'm saying? What's worse is being a coward. Being a coward is worse. You know what I'm saying? So grandpa and great grandpa wasn't sitting around talking about no data on the internet, listening to some nerdy ass dude that went to college. You know, no. They weren't sitting around thinking like that. But today, that's what we do. We sit around talking about the data, marriage is this, the financial market is that, and the odds are against it, and we're being blocked, and the interest rate is this, and the job market is that. We already know all of that. We understand all of that. We understand that you're gonna have to find a way to maneuver amongst the sharks without being eaten. We understand all of that. I get it. But that don't mean I ain't gonna try. Yeah. I'm going at it. Yeah. I'm jumping in the pool. I'm going to swim amongst the sharks. And I'm going to succeed in some way, shape, or form. Yeah. And you know what? I never lose. I can't tell you the last time I lost. Every time I make a decision to do something, I find a way. Against all odds. They say you can't do it. Okay, yeah, I done it already. Now what? Damn! You see, they say I can't do anything. I done it all. And now what? God damn, boy. Hooray. People have a loser's mentality, man. People have a loser's mentality. They sit around talking all day long, talking about the data. And if you get married, she's going to take everything you got. Well, bitch, I ain't got nothing. I don't have nothing for you to take. I ain't rich. So what are you gonna take from me? What are you gonna take from me? I ain't rich. They're like, oh well, she gonna get child support. Okay, how much is child support? $300, $300 a month, or based on, they say it's based on your salary, right? Well, I don't have no income. Now what? Well, I don't got no income. They're like, yes, you do. Prove it. What are we talking about? You can't prove that I have income. Oh, well. If you ain't rich, why are you afraid to, I don't know, get married or get involved with a woman? I don't know. Shit. Like a lot of guys are delusional. Just like a lot of women out here. I don't know. Like, what are you afraid of? You have nothing to lose. I don't even know what a lot of guys be talking about. If they go take my car and take my house. Okay, go buy another car. Are you that attached to your car and your house like that? Go buy another house if you're that attached to it. You shouldn't be attached to material things like that. I'm just saying. I know you love the car and the house, but you shouldn't be attached to it. Especially if you're not making no money from the house or whatever investment it may be. Because all that shit can be taken away. Cars and houses and jewelry and that shit don't really make me. I'll get another house. I'll get another car. If need be. If it's that important to me, okay, goddamn. You know. People are crazy out here. I'm not really I don't get attached to material things like that. Nah, it might be nice, but look, man, I'm cool. You know what I'm saying? I know some guys that have gotten married, men and women that have gotten married, and for whatever reason, they decided to go their separate ways, and they left, didn't want anything. The guy was like, "Hey, you can take the house with the kids, and I'll pick them up every other weekend." They didn't have to go to court, none of that shit. And even some that did go to court, same thing. There wasn't no fighting, no crazy, no weirdo crazy shit. Men and women. I got a homeboy, a good friend of mine. He stay out in Louisiana. Big Mike. He might look at this one day. He might look at the playback. He live in Baton Rouge. His first wife left him with the kids. I think he had what, 2 kids at the time? Yeah, 2 kids at the time. He's a single dad, right? And she ended up with another man and had another kid. Yeah, this bitch, I'll call her that. I don't know her. Ended up with another man, with another kid, and she left my boy Mike. But she left the house, the kids, everything. She didn't want nothing. He was like, all right, cool. You know what I'm saying? I got to take care of my kids. Kids didn't ask to be here. She didn't give a fuck. She just left. So I was like, yo, she just didn't want to be with you. That's all it was. She did you a favor and left. Great. That's good for you, Mike. You know what I'm saying? So shit happens. But it's not the end of the world. And my boy Mike got a new wife and a new baby. Well, she's not a baby now, but she's like what? I guess like got to be. Oh, wait a minute. I'm not sure if he got it. I think they had 1 kid, if I'm not mistaken. Did they have? No, I'm not sure. I take that back. He did get married again, though, but I don't think they had a kid yet. I could be wrong about that. Don't quote me on that. Sorry, Mike. If you see the playback. But yeah, he got married again. New wife. It's all good. You know what I'm saying? Everybody get along like his kids, like his new wife, I think. Shit, I don't know. Sorry, Mike. But shit happened. But he ain't paying no child support. None of that bullshit. They ain't had to pay nothing. Bitch just left. You know? A lot of these nerds, oh, that's another thing. See, Mike is not a nerd. A lot of these nerds, they're with women, in most cases, don't like them, never liked them, and a lot of them are hoes. A lot of these guys marry hoes. Straight up. That's why it goes bad for most of these guys. They'll marry a hood chick. You marry a hood bitch? Plus she's a hoe. Oh, God. You know this is going to end badly. Come on, man. What are you thinking about? No, man, that shit going to end horribly. Oh, man. No, that's not going to end well. Come on, man. You got to know that's going to end badly. You know what I'm saying? And plus, man, when you out in these streets, especially when you know the deck is stacked against you, you have to be able to finesse certain situations. I can finesse almost any and every situation. Even when because I've like, you know, I've told certain people to introduce me to certain people or put in a good word for me or whatever. And they almost always fail. Almost always fail. God damn. So that's when I'm like, hey, let me do the talking. And get me on the phone with the person, 3-way or email, whatever, right? let me do the talk, and then I already know what to say to the person. You know what I'm saying? If I find out what they want, if I can find out what they want, I know what to say. That way I know how to finesse the situation to my benefit. They get what they want, I get what I want. You know what I'm saying? You have to always have that in your toolbox when you're out here, regardless of who the person is. I don't gotta like them. I don't gotta like them, him or her. I don't even gotta respect them. But it is what it is, you know? But a lot of these nerds, they don't understand that. Everything is black and white. It's either this or that. Real life don't work like that. That works if you're in the office, if maybe you're in DC or you're a politician or some shit like that. You're on the job. But when you're outside in these streets, things don't. Things can happen in different ways. There's black and white, and there's the gray area. The gray area is pretty much where I work at. You know what I'm saying? Because any normal, decent person knows that nobody is just one thing. You know, nobody's just one thing. You know, I think some of us lose sight of that. Some of us didn't have the best role models growing up. And we're looking for some type of father figure or some type of guidance out here. And then we start listening to people that we shouldn't be listening to, like entertainers. Like, I give you an example, something that a lot of these comedians say little shit that's kind of catchy every once in a while. Like Chris Rock, I'll give you an example. Chris Rock will say, when he starts talking about women, it's all about her. That bullshit. That's bullshit. It's all about her, if you want it to be. That's bullshit. See, I didn't grow up looking at that. When I grew up, it's about family. It's about the group. Working as a team. Everybody on the same page. I didn't grow up seeing it's all about her. That's bullshit. And then when these entertainers say stuff like that, people will take it out of context and they'll spread it like wildfire online, and you know, it could go any type of way. And then guys start to buy into it. They actually start to believe it after a while. And because they don't know no better. And then you have some guys that are just wimps, soft, weak, broken. You know? That's how a lot of stuff get taken out of context. You know, and then some guys are just, if it sounds good, and like a lot of women will say, like a guy will ask, a woman might say something, might say what she want, her standards and a checklist of bullshit. And none of that shit is set in stone, by the way. If you got a 23-year-old chick talking about what she want in her imaginary list, you gotta be what? The guy gotta be 30. He gotta make what? $75,000. He got to be 6 foot tall. He got to be living by himself with no roommates. He got to have a good paying job, and on and on and on. None of that shit is set in stone. That's what she thinks in the moment. But depending on what type of guy you are, you can still finesse that situation to your advantage. Because the woman is looking at you and seeing what you're doing and where you're going. If she trusts your leadership, but if you come out and say something like, hey, what you want to do? If she asks you, hey, what you want to do? And you say, hey, well, that's up to you. No, player. What do you mean it's up to you? That's not something you should say to a woman. It's up to you. No, it ain't up to her. It's up to you, brother. No. You should always lead. If you ask a girl, let's say you want to take a girl to a restaurant or anywhere. Let's just use restaurant. This is easy. You say, hey, what are you in the mood to eat? Right? She'll tell you seafood. And you say, based on how she responds, you say, oh, good, let's go to this place, this day and time. That's it. Don't ask her where you want to eat at. No. No. It don't work that way. No. Now, I know certain people are allergic to certain foods or don't like certain foods. I understand that. But don't be asking a woman so many damn questions. A lot of these women don't know what they want until they get it. So you're wasting your time asking women all these damn questions. We don't know what we want until we get it, including you and me. I've lived long enough to figure out what I want and don't want. But if you're 23, you don't know what the hell you like and don't like until you get it or experience it. That's how that shit works. So whenever you see some young girl on the internet or any of these shows, in most cases, they making a fool out of the young broads. They're exploiting these young broads on these shows. You know, I'm not going to call none of these shows names. You know the shows, a lot of these shows, where they have a bunch of women on. Most of these girls are under 25. Some 18, 19, 20. And they'll say what they want. They don't know what the fuck they want. These young broads, man, they trying to do some shit. They're trying to go somewhere. They're trying to figure it out. They don't know what the hell they want, but you're going to get them broads up there, make a fool out of them, and get mad when they disrespect you, and now you kick them out. They taking advantage of them young broads, man. You be bashing the young broads. You know they don't know shit. You know they don't know what they want. But you make a fool out of them anyway. That shit ain't cool, man. But people do that shit because a lot of guys, nerdy guys, they like bashing, they like seeing women get humiliated and get taken advantage of. Because the nerdy guy, he ain't got no game. So that makes the nerdy guy feel good about himself. But that's lame. You know what I'm saying? You got a lot of these guys. That's probably the majority. That's probably the majority of guys on the internet. You got a lot of man-hating guys on the internet. Women, you got a lot of man-hating women and man-hating guys on the internet. Where there's some guys, if you talk to them long enough, you like, this motherfucker hate women. He can't stand being around a woman. And they'll say shit like, I don't want to deal with no woman. I ain't got time, be dealing with a woman. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather just, spend my time doing whatever. So I'm like, well, if you don't want to deal with a woman, well, who the hell are you going to deal with? Another man? I don't get down like that, player. I can't, I don't even, okay. Different stroke for different folks. There's a lot of guys out here that's like this. I don't deal with no woman. Fucking distraction. You know what I'm saying? Who you gonna deal with? Another man? You trying to come out that closet, player? You trying to tell me something? You got a lot of weird guys like that online, and women too. You got a lot of women that are in the closet. Well, I don't want to deal with no man. Niggas ain't shit. Well, like, who you gonna deal with? Another woman? Yeah. 9 times out of 10. A lot of women have gay tendencies where it's like, if a man is around, they can't stand if a man around. They can't stand when a man tell them what to do. The sight of a man, it disgusts a lot of women. But when a woman comes around, it's a total different ball game then. Her whole persona changes. I'm like, that bitch is borderline gay. She's in the closet. Now, maybe she never actually had an interaction with a woman, but if she get a hold of one of them stud, get a hold of her, it's over. Yeah, that's how that shit is. So you got a lot of degenerate men and women online, even in certain cities across America, like on that West Coast, for sure. Like Southern California, LA, and San Diego, the Bay Area, a lot of degenerate behavior over there. In Atlanta, New York City, a lot of degenerates. You know what I'm saying? And different stroke for different folks. But for you to say that you don't want to deal with a woman, that's not logical. That's damn near impossible. Unless you live out in the woods by yourself or some shit like that. But if you live in a city, you're going to have to interact with a woman at some point. If you're a man and if you live in a city, you're going to have to interact with if you're a woman, you're going to have to interact with a man at some point. So to say that you don't want to interact with the opposite sex, that doesn't make any sense. That's not even logical. You lost your damn mind. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know what the fuck wrong with you. You mentally disturbed or something. That don't make no sense. Unless you live out in the woods somewhere. Well, all you got to deal with is animals. But I don't know. I don't know, man. Today is all about how people feel more than anything. How they feel. That's how I feel. And how people feel has a lot to do with how they move and what they say and what they do and all that good stuff, you know. But hey, you know, if you got anything to talk about, I'm gonna put the link in here. Otherwise, we get up out of here. I got a flight to catch. I got an early flight to catch. So hey, you know. Otherwise, I'm gone. You know what I'm saying? I didn't really have a lot to talk about. Man. But yeah, you know, it ain't pretty out here. It ain't you can't read a book and get and learn everything. The book just get you started. And P.S. and by the way, go get my books. They're right behind me. Love Can't Wait and Boss Life Secrets. They right beside, side by side, right on the shelf. On Amazon.com. Only get my book if you want to win. If you want to win, get my book. If you don't want to win, don't get my book. You know what I'm saying? So that's my advice for you. If you want to win, get my book. If you don't want to win, don't do it. Don't hurt yourself. But if you want to win, don't cheat yourself, treat yourself. Because I'm a winner. And I've been the way I am for a long time now. And I don't see myself getting worse. I only see myself getting better. So share this episode. Check out my Patreon and all that good stuff. Until next time, I'm out.
Yeah, baby.
Alright. Just got the call, it's going down tonight. It's a lot of goodbyes here tonight. But then I saw the stallion that I like. Hair from Cali, I live in the valley.